Hello. Happy Thursday. We're late, but we made it. Guys, how are you? I don't know what's days where you're like, I'm thankful I have my hair. I really am. And I guess it's going to do what it wants to today. I want you to grab your coffees. Let's have a quick catch up together on this Thursday morning, my friends. Please say hello in the comments as you join us for coffee this morning. It is Thankful Thursday, and we're going to have a little bit of fun. Hello, Jim. Did you pull out your snowshoes? I haven't looked out yet. We are snowing, wind blowing, not particularly lovely here today in southern Alberta after another beautiful 20-degree, honestly, this hair, 20-degree weather we had yesterday. It's a bit of a switch. I am super grateful for the makers of Advil on mornings when our weather adjusts like this so quickly. Yeah. So if my eyes aren't open all the way, that is why today. Good morning, April. Good morning, Karen. I am thankful I get to stay in my jammies this morning. Yes. Hey, Jody, I already finished my coffee. Hey, that's all right. But you're expecting Megan, so you can drink like a 4-liter of orange juice right now or something if you wanted. You get to do whatever you want. Yeah. Okay. How are you? Thank you for being with me this morning and appreciating that this weather in my head is just and we have a woodpecker that comes, and you know what? He's every spring. He comes and hangs out here in the area where I live. And when you look up, and I think we probably talked about this last year, when you look up the spiritual meaning of woodpeckers and you look up sort of what they are as a totem and different things, it's really interesting. And if I remember correctly, but I should look it up again to remind myself, is if I remember correctly, they're symbolic of change. And so I always appreciate, probably seasonally, and I don't know, the woodpecker migration route, it all makes sense that they come around the same time. But I've always thought it was an interesting connection that they also in the spring, it's not only symbolic to the changing of the season, but for a lot of us, spring becomes an opportunity where we work into some changes of our own. And the energy levels right now are just so amazing for creativity and figure things out and trying new things. And it's kind of exciting. So outside of the fact that he likes to do, I don't know, would you call it his pecking? I feel like that's inappropriate, but his woodpeckering, he likes to do that early in the morning as quickly as possible and as loudly as possible on every little chimney stack around, especially on ours. And so with a headache weather change and the visit from the woodpecker this morning, yeah, it's been a Thursday morning. So that's what I'm trying to say there. But I am thankful for you coming to hang out with us on this Thursday morning. Hi, Kelly. Thanks for being here. Good morning, Angie. She says it's going to warm up on Monday in southern Alberta. All right. We need it to be patio weather so we can still get out and support our local restaurant owners and have are you not just ready for sunshine and cold drinks and patios and visits? That's what we're ready for. So encourage you and invite you to share what you are thankful for on this Thursday. I would like you to spend a moment of gratitude. If you don't wish to share that in the comments this morning, by all means, you don't need to. But if you would be so kind also to share that in the comments, if you feel comfortable, what you are thankful for today. When we get to share in collective gratitude, I think it's also really powerful for us in lifting up our spirits and just having some fun. I got a new t-shirt. Is this cool or what? It's cool to be kind. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So I hope that you will share in the comments what you are thankful for today. I have already expressed my thanks for the creators of Advil. Calvin, good morning and welcome. He says, I'm thankful for good friends in my life and thankful through all this COVID shit to be working and in good health. Have an amazing day. Sometimes it's just those little things, right? And we know, and we talked about, and I rampaged like crazy yesterday on things COVID related and whatever. And it's just, again, Wednesdays are an opportunity to vent, and we need to do that. And I feel much better today. So last week we kind of had a challenge where we collectively as a group took time to thank a teacher or someone in the education profession last week. And that got me thinking that I would like to have sort of a dedicated section that we are thankful for every single week. And I'm going to create a graphic just like I did last week again, so that we can share that around on our social medias and encourage other people in our circles to reach out and thank also. And so what I'm choosing to be our thankful recipients today, that I would love you to be a part of this challenge with me, is I would love you to thank a first responder today. So first responders are integral to the safety and the running and the security of communities, cities, towns, everything across the world. First responders are the people that we hear. I mean, it sounds very cliche because you hear it in all the things, but it's true. They're running towards the danger when we're running away from it. It takes a very exceptional type of person to go into a first responder role. So I'm talking about our fire department. I'm talking about EMS drivers. I'm talking about police officers. I'm talking about, who else would be in those situations? I mean, healthcare professionals fall into that, but I think that we'll sort of dedicate a day to thank them directly another day. I'm just wanting to talk about the first responders and, the people who are coming to the scene when you dial 911 or you have an emergency situation, that group that are coming to the scene to answer calls. And I just want us to take a moment, and I want you to text, if you know somebody who is an EMS person, a firefighter, a police officer, and I want you to take a moment today, and I want you, if you know them personally enough that you can text them, that would be fantastic. If you have their email addresses, that would be fantastic. If you happen to pass one in your travels out today, I would love you to thank them in person, and just take, it doesn't have to be this big thing, but just, you know what? I just want to take a minute and just thank you for the work that you do every day. It's important and you matter, and I'm grateful. And if you wanted to go a step further, now in the sake of safety, if you don't want to, and I don't know if places like police stations or fire halls or the ambulance bay in your area, community, whatever that looks like, is accepting you to drop off food, for example. What's really cool is things, and I'll use Tim Hortons as an example just because we used it recently with something else we were doing, is you can send like a Tim's card electronically now. So if you called the front desk at your local departments and asked for, the person, their lovely administrative professional, which, by the way, it's Administrative Professionals Week this week. So thank you to our admins. We should maybe thank them today too. Get that email of hers or his and send that e-card to them to then share with the rest of the department. Does that make sense? That wasn't coming out as smoothly as I had wanted to, but there's a lot going on this week, right? It's Earth Day today. So we're grateful for our Mother Earth and the incredible environment in which we live. But I just wanted to take a moment and thank first responders this week. Probably should have thought that through a little more, and we did administrative professionals, but thank them too, okay? We're thanking everybody today. And the reason that is really top of mind for me this morning, my friends, is my next podcast episode that will hopefully be coming out on Saturday was an incredible, God, it's a story. It's an emotional story. And I had the opportunity last night to have a conversation with an acquaintance of mine in the rodeo world who I had learned had attempted suicide last spring. And he survived and is here today to tell his story. And so last night we had a conversation about the lead up for him to be in that space. I asked him about that day. I have asked him about the journey afterwards. And friends, this story is freaking phenomenal. And if you are not someone who believes in miracles or that there is a higher power at play in our world, I swear to goodness, you will after hearing this man's story. It is so dynamic, so dynamic. And I will admit, like it was haunting. I've never in my life got to interview somebody who survived a suicide attempt. I have never in my life asked somebody what were they thinking in that moment. Because normally, for those of us who have been affected by suicide in our lives in one way or another, we've never been able to ask that person because they weren't here anymore. So the fact that we could ask Travis what that was like was pretty freaking dynamic. And I think of not only his story in that, but I thought, gosh, like think of the first responders who came on the scene to try to save his life and what that must be like. And I have heard from other first responders through this time frame that the calls that they are receiving in regards to suicide alone are very high. And guys, that frightens me, and it hurts my heart. And I think of the amount of calls, like Travis and I talked about, we're like curious of the statistic of what the attempt rate is. And yeah, guys, it's a big topic and it's a heavy one. And I don't mean to go heavy on a thankful Thursday morning, but just hearing that and thinking of and knowing that I talked to other first responders of late and the amount of calls, and I've got friends who are first responders in the city, and there's a lot of calls happening there and just those stories. And so we don't always know what's happening behind the scenes in a lot of cases. And they are coming on to scenes that are probably extremely haunting, and they continue to do it every damn day. And those people need our lifting up in a time when I bet they're really exhausted. I bet they're really exhausted. So let's thank a first responder today, because it's probably pretty likely that one of the ones that you know or that are in your neck of the woods have come across a scene of late that has been really difficult for them to digest through. And I think we need to remind them that we support them. Are you with me on this? Let me know. You got all quiet there because I got all serious. But like that's, I hope that I hope you'll check out this podcast when it's released, because it's as scary as it was to have that conversation. I'm sure because it was so scary for him to go through it, there's a lot of hope in that. And there's a lot of opportunity for us to look out for each other moving forward, and so on and so forth. So I hope that you will also check that out. And I'm planning to release it, I'm hoping, on Saturday, because Saturday is the 1-year anniversary of the day that Travis had his darkest day. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about today. No wonder I have a headache. Anyway, what are you thankful for today? I am so grateful that you are here. I am so thankful that we are able to share in a cup of coffee every morning, you guys. It's so great. And some people I've asked, they're like, aren't you getting tired of that? Like, do you still want to keep doing that? And I do. If you want to have coffee with me every morning, I will still be here, and I'm going to show up every day to have coffee with you because I think it's important. So I'm going to keep on trucking unless, like, collectively, if you're like, guys, Jode, no, then you let me know. We'll keep it. Brent shares, good morning. I'm so glad you're here this morning. I'm grateful to watch you be positive every morning. Thank you. Maybe not every morning. Grateful for my life here in Mazatlan. It is looking good. You've got that beautiful lady love, Brent. I'm so happy for you. It's good. We're glad that you're here today. Karen shares, wow, we do love all of our first responders, and I can't wait to hear Travis's story. Mm-hmm. And you're on my mind, Karen, that I'd like to connect with you too if you think you're up for it. Corey shares, I am thankful for you. And I'm thankful for you. Corey, by the way, my friends, here's something I want to shout out this morning. So, Corey, you have seen in our coffee chats before as someone, you've seen lots of comments, but you've seen her face in coffee chat because she is Corey of Foothills Angel, and she's always rocking it. And my fellow coffee clubbers, Corey was awarded this week Volunteer of the Year in the community she lives in High River. And she has won Volunteer of the Year. It is so great because not only does Corey volunteer with Foothills Angel, but she's also a very active member of the Foothills Kinettes. She has done an integral amount of work and helped build homes with Habitat for Humanity, among many things. Corey is the one that if you're like, I just need some help with something, and if you ask her, she's like, I'm in. And if I can't, I'm going to find you someone who is. She is, gosh, relentless in her pursuit of sharing joy. And I'm so grateful to call her a friend, let alone somebody that I get to work with all the time. So congratulations, Corey. She officially gets the award online tonight at a virtual volunteer appreciation event. And that's really, really exciting. And I feel like, Corey, I feel like we're going to have you on a coffee chat maybe in the next couple of days to talk about it, because I love the story of when she got the call to be told that she had won. And I'm not going to tell it to you because I want her to tell it to you when she comes on with us. But it was so funny. So funny. Oh my gosh. Like, so if you could join me in giving Corey some congratulations or some love or smiley faces in the comments, please do so. Corey, thank you for all you do. Kim, is it your daughter who won the youth category? I'm sorry, I didn't retain all of the things very well, but yeah, I feel like it was your daughter. Please correct me if I'm wrong there and send congratulations. There was also another in the group category, a couple of other really amazing ways. I think I'll track them all down, friends, because I can, and we'll bring them on the show. But for those of you that watch and are a part of Coffee Club from different areas, I now have a team helping me work, and we're going to try to connect with more people from other provinces across the country, and we can connect into the US too, Jim. We're going to start spreading out the guests and learning more. My goal and my thought and my joy is in this moment of thanking this morning is that I want to be able to chat with people from all over the world, and for us to be able to introduce each other and learn from people and things that are happening all around the world, because what's only happening in your backyard isn't enough. We need to see and celebrate what's happening in community around the world. And we have the opportunity to learn from each other and share. And if somebody's doing something awesome in their community, copy it. So, yay, team. Yeah, my teammate, he's got work to do. And it is Kim's daughter. I'm sorry, I forget her name, Kim. I should know from her recent birthday, but please post it in the comments and let's congratulate. You know what? Anytime we get the opportunity, I think, to congratulate a youth who is going above and beyond in community and volunteering work, that's the real excitement, because that's the future of keeping volunteerism going. And guys, it's National Volunteer Week this week. So I think that it would be great to highlight, and we should be having a conversation about that too this week. Gosh, there's so many things, friends, for us to talk about. But volunteering nowadays, I think what's interesting is, and I had a great conversation with, I was doing an interview with the volunteer coordinator from the Calgary and Area Child Advocacy Center, and they're bringing in and coordinating volunteers with victim services and child life specialists, and they're bringing in volunteers who own incredible dogs, and all to help the children and youth that are affected by child abuse. And their volunteer team is so dynamic. And Christine and I were having a really great conversation this week about, what are you doing in your free time? And yes, COVID has put an interesting wrinkle and challenge into volunteer opportunities that are available, but they're still out there. And I think we can think outside the box with it a little bit too. But what I think is unique is that nowadays, you can volunteer. Like if you had an extra hour in a day or a couple of hours in a week that you didn't have busy with something else, you can find volunteering opportunities to fit into that. Gone are the days when I think when we think about volunteering traditionally, like I think about my grandma who was a member of the Rebeccas. That was her group. And they did tons, very similar to a Connect or a Rotary member or anything like that. And I think of, Connects with that. And there's still those great opportunities that if you want to be a part of a larger collective and do where you have meetings and you have opportunities to gather in that work and do it on that level, you can. But what I think is cool about nowadays is that you can really be bite-sized chunks. So you don't have to think, gosh, I'd really like to volunteer with said organization, but I don't have a lot of free time. I only have a little bit. And you think that you can't then volunteer. Does that make sense? But you can. That's the nice thing. There's bite-sized chunks of volunteering opportunities available. And I hope that more of us will take that opportunity to grab onto one of those little nuggets. And I think too, yeah, Kelly says, if you're curious about connects, connect with one of them. And you can connect with Kelly and find out. Like maybe it seems like you'd be doing hours and hours and hours, but maybe it's not. Maybe you have an opportunity to really just bite-size those chunks too. But then it's forming some of that community. And in doing a lot of writing for Volunteer Week this week, I've looked a lot into there are some incredibly huge benefits that come back to you from volunteering. Like I know you're giving to your community, but that act of service actually is one of the things that helps release those good endorphins into your brain. Like it is an opportunity to lift you up, and it helps with your actual health and wellness. How cool is this? How cool is this? Kim said, Kaylee. So congratulations, Kaylee. Thank you for all of that. That is so fun. Okay. Angie, can disabled people take part in this one? I don't know what this one you mean, girl, but I know that there are volunteering opportunities for people with disabilities for sure. It's just getting connected and finding them. And you know those places to connect, Angie. I know you do because you are so smart. Corey, thanks everybody. I definitely have amazing committees and team members that make it possible to impact our beautiful community. Reach out if you'd like details on joining these community groups. Yeah, she'll recruit you at the same time. That's why she's Volunteer of the Year. So fun. So fun. Okay, guys, I've gone over our time frame together, and I apologize for that. I went long yesterday too, so I will. But there's just so much to talk about. Is this not so exciting? Okay, please take a moment and thank a first responder today. I'm going to get that graphic posted after we are live so that you can share it on your social media. Take a moment and thank an administrative professional this week. Take a moment today and thank Mother Earth for this beautiful creation we get to live on. And let's make sure we're making choices that we get to prolong the time of this beautiful planet as best we can. And take a moment to thank somebody in your life, or just take a moment to have a thought, or you were thankful for something. Have that gratitude moment today because it's good for your health. Okay, my friends? Love you lots. We will see you back here tomorrow morning, guys. Fun Friday. We have a great guest joining us. My friend Terry is phenomenal. Speaking of someone who gives back to community, and Terry, he's been on here before with fellow friend Jim Button, and we had a fun Friday morning with the two of them. Terry's coming back on because we're going to talk a little bit about the shift in his world and what that's been looking like, and share a little bit of his journey with him. Guys, he is going to make you feel so good because he is joy in a person, 100%. So I look forward to you being back here with us and Terry tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Have an amazing rest of your Thursday. So thankful for you. Cheers. Have a good one, guys.